taking care of somebody that's close to you, a lot of people find it hard to do things like that. When people would find out kind of the extreme measures we have to go through to really care for him, they kind of found it unbelievable. But in the book of Matthew, it talks about when we do things for people, we do it for the Lord. And like my brother said, it was an honor to serve him, you know, being the elder of our family, and it was an honor. You know, sometimes we're still human, and there's still those reflexes, and you know, it was hard. You know, sometimes lotioning his body, or you know, little things like that. You're like, dang, Grandpa, like use some lotion. And he's like, whatever. But like, it was an honor to, you know, in his last days, I would always anoint him, you know, from head to toe. I was rubbing his feet. I was honored. I was so honored to serve him in any way that I could. But also, if you have loved ones that need help, I encourage you to help them. You know, because you're doing it not only for yourself and not only for them, but you're doing it for God. And he recognizes that. Growing up, my grandpa let us grandkids do whatever we wanted. I wanted to drive the car. I was 3. And he said, sure, let's do it. So he put me on his lap and he turned it on, because I knew that the car wasn't on, so he turned it on. My mom gets home and I'm in the car, and my mom's like, what are you doing? Like, what if something would have happened? He's like, oh, like, let her do it. It's fine. You know, we always knew that Grandma saying no was okay because Grandpa always said yes. But Grandma couldn't find out about it. So just like him letting us do things, and he always wanted us to be creative. He always encouraged us to express ourselves through art, through music, he loved to build things. And I just remember there was always something to be built in his garage. And one day I found styrofoam, and I said that I was gonna make wings so I could fly. He's like, yeah, you could do it. I have all the materials. And he just set up things, and I cut the styrofoam into like what I thought was like a wing pattern, and I had like burlap twine that I put. And he said, well, if you're gonna fly, you need height. I was like, okay. So I stepped on the stool that he had made for us, and he's like, okay, like, jump. I was like, okay. So I got the wings, and I put them on, and I jumped, and I fell. And I think what he wanted to teach me was, you know, to try, to keep trying, and to trust him, because yes, I did fall, but when I fell, he was right there to pick me up and to comfort me and to say, you know, maybe if we could just figure out how this works. And he knew I was not going to make it to 5. You know, I was only like 5. I was like, you know, but just things like that. He just always encouraged us to do things, even if it didn't work out. And he would always say, you know, practice makes perfect. And that's something I've always taken with me. You know, he always would let us, you know, when I was younger, just, you know, I'm sure he identified really well with Frankie, with like baseball, and us girls, you know, it was like Carmen and I had a bigger gap. You know, he'd let us play with him. He let me do his hair and put barrettes and bows, and he would just let us just make him look like a total silly, like, you know, and he didn't mind. And hopefully we get a slideshow going. We have a picture of him with a sideways hat. Like, he'd let us put his, like, I taught him how to like go west side. Like, he didn't care. Like, he let us do whatever. You know, he loved us that much that we just told him to be silly with him. So he had that good balance. He was conservative, he was dignified, but he knew when to have fun, and he knew when it was appropriate to have fun. And just a word that I was given that I just want to share. You know, he lived a good moral life. He loved his family, and he loved his kids, and he loved God more than anything. You know, I would always tell him, when he was just really sick and it's almost you seem hopeless. But we know that it says that if God's for us, what could be against us? You know, he knew that. So 2 Timothy chapter 4, in it says, I fought the good fight, I finished the race, and I have remained faithful. And now the prize awaits me, the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give me on the day of his return. And the prize is not just for me, but for all who eagerly look forward to his appearing. My grandpa fought the good fight, and he finished the race. And I noticed in that scripture, it doesn't even say I won the race. It says I finished the race because Christ won that race for us.
Amen.
He won the race. He is our winner. And we just have to finish. We just have to obey him, and we just have to finish. And we will finish as long as we follow him. That's what matters. So I just thank you all for coming. And I thank you all for helping our family get through this. And I just encourage you all to just love on your family and do the things that you don't want to do, because it's in that you find that reward. Every decision that we make in this life will either have a consequence or a reward. And I believe that God put us together as a family for a reason, so we could reap those blessings and have those rewards as a family.